Hello everyone, welcome back to Clinical Biochemistry 1 classes. This is the introductory message for the subject and this is the syllabus. So I will be continuing with Unit 1. We will continue with Medical Testing Laboratories, that is Unit 1. The topics for previous class were what is biochemistry, clinical biochemistry, role of medical laboratory technologist, and ethics and responsibility of MLTs. So topics for today's class is safety measures in a laboratory. So firstly, we will know about safe laboratory premises. So laboratory premise should be structurally sound with a reliable water supply and drainage from sink must be close to septic tank. The overall size of the laboratory must be appropriate for the workload, staff member, storage and equipment requirements. So these are the laboratory premise safety that should be maintained in every laboratory. The floor should be well constructed with a surface that is non-slippery, impermeable to liquids and resistant to those chemicals used in the laboratory. So the floor should be constructed in such a way that even though if liquids fall on the floors, then there will be no accidents because it should be non-slippery and impermeable to liquids. The liquid should not enter inside the tiles and resistant to chemicals used in the laboratory. If any toxic chemicals fall on the floor, it should not damage the floor. Bench surface that are without crack, impervious, washable and resistant to the disinfections and chemicals should be used in the laboratory. So similarly, benches we use in the laboratory should also be resistant to certain chemicals and should be crack free. Next, suitable storage facility should be available including a ventilated lock store for the storage of chemicals and expensive equipments. So if we are storing chemicals and expensive equipments in a storeroom, so we should take care that proper ventilation is given there. Otherwise, if there is any moisture content inside the store, then what will happen? It may damage the chemicals as well as the equipment. Next, the gas supply that is piped into the laboratory with the gas cylinder should be stored in an outside weatherproof. So we should always store the gas cylinder in a weatherproof outside jacketed cover so that any other gas cylinder, if it comes in contact with the gas cylinder, they should not react and should not catch fire. Next, the hand basin with running water should be placed on preferable site. So we should take care that wherever possible we should keep a hand basin so that if we come contact with any liquids which are dangerous or if we burn ourselves or whatever, so the first safety measure is to wash our hands thoroughly in running water. So a running water hand basin should be available in such premises. Next, provision of protective safety cabinets and fume cupboards are required and when feasible. So always we require a protective safety cabinets so that if any dangerous chemicals we come in close with, it should be safety to use inside a safety cabinets or a fume cupboards which will extract all the fumes produced from the chemicals so that it does not harm our eyes and nose. along with fire extinguishers, several buckets of sand and a fire blanket is also required. So, we should always need to keep fire extinguishers in everywhere where there is a risk of catching fire, and with that, we should keep several buckets of sand so that if we cannot extinguish fire with the extinguisher, we can use sand in that place. And also, our fire blanket is required so that if a person catches fire, so we cannot put fire extinguisher on a person, so that's why we need a fire blanket so that we can save the person from getting burned. Next, an emergency eye wash and safety shower station are essential equipment for every laboratory that uses chemicals and hazardous substance. Emergency eye wash and safety shower stations serve the purpose of reducing workplace injury and keeping workers away from various dangers. So, an emergency eye wash is very much required because there is a high risk of a person getting damage of eye because of the fumes produced from chemicals. So first they attack the eyes because eye is very sensitive to smoke and fumes. And similarly, a safety shower station is also required so that if a person comes under any accidents and all with which includes chemicals, so it is very much safe that the person should go for safety shower or else put a bucket full of water over himself, so that this is the first thing they can do from getting himself or herself being burnt or damaged by the chemicals. So, in this way, in every laboratory, eye wash basin and safety shower stations should be there to serve the purpose of reducing workplace injury and keeping workers away from various dangers. Next, a laboratory poses potential hazards due to presence of dangerous chemicals, corrosive liquids, poisonous chemicals and toxic gases. All those in the laboratory should be familiar with first aid practices as these save valuable time and reduce the extent of damage in case of laboratory accidents. So, in a laboratory, we come across very hazardous chemicals, corrosive liquids, poisonous chemicals, and toxic gases. So, we have to come in contact with those things. So, it is always required. So, we should know about the first aid practices so that if we have some injury or we come under very much difficult conditions or laboratory accidents, so we can treat ourselves or our fellow mates with the first aid. So we should know where the first aid kit is kept in the laboratory. It is very much important. Next is safe electricity supply with sufficient while electric points should be available. So the electric points on the walls which we are using should be safe and sufficient electric points should be there so that there is no overload, because if we have only one or two electric supply and we have lots of machines to attach at a same time, so if we use only one or two electric supply, so we have to use for that, we have to use extensions. So in the extensions, if we put lots of plugs together, so it is giving a load over the one electric point, so obviously it will have damage, or there may be electric spark, or there may be a risk of catching fire as well. So it is always required that the laboratory premise should have sufficient wall electric points so that the people working there should be safe. So this is the end of today's class. So now time for some homework. So you have to find out the necessary items to be kept in a first aid box. So in a detailed way you have to write what are the necessary items we should keep in a first aid box so that initially we can treat ourselves. Thank you students for your patience in listening all the topics I have discussed today. If you have any doubt, you are free to contact me anytime.